Before the final battle between the living and the dead. So here we are, our Game of Thrones panel to discuss it all. We've got Jake Stevens, Gio Ignarez, Marley Austin is joining our team, and Heather Case, our wonderful Weekend Morning producer, to talk about what has happened. So it's everything gearing up for the final battle. And I think I saw two resounding themes other than just getting ready for the battle. Number one, Daenerys, yes, she's queen, but we saw a lot, especially in the beginning of the episode, that she's not as powerful or as respected as she was before she came to Westeros.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely an outsider. It's very evident. And the fact, too, is like, even Theon, who pledged to her when it was him and Yara, came out and was like, Your Grace, Sansa, I want to fight for you. It's like, everything is showing, like, even if you take the throne, you're not going to have the power.
She has the fear factor whenever she wants it, but if you're trying to win these people over, you can't use the fear factor of, hey, I'll just scorch whoever doesn't like me with dragonfire. So the respect and being respected and or admired love as a ruler would take a longer process, and she doesn't have that right now. She doesn't have that time.
I think also when she was in Essos, she freed a lot of the slaves, and they loved her because she freed them, but in Westeros, there's no slaves. There's like, she's not doing anything for them to make them love her.
You have to be a little bit more diplomatic.
Yeah.
So a lot of build-up. We know that the battle is coming. We see that from Eastwatch. The last survivors come there. They tell them about what happened at the Umbers as well. So they know they have one last night. And you see these beautiful moments towards the tail end of the episode of the last kind of character build and the last few laughs, or in Arya's case, the last or first time she makes love. But there were some really beautiful moments like Brienne.
I think that's what made this episode so special, and what makes Game of Thrones so unique is that it has such a deep bench of characters that you can attach yourself to. If you don't like one, there's maybe 15 others you can love. And having those moments where you could attach yourselves to them and gives you that emotion, that bedrock, that's going to get absolutely shattered come 2-3 episodes from now, because it really felt like a lot of these characters were coming full circle. Like the end of their story was then, and now we're going to see the epilogue here in a few days.
Yeah, it's scary stuff. Every time you saw something that tugged your heartstrings, you're like, that's somebody else that's probably not going to be here after next week.
It was their last hurrah, last goodbye. What about the great moment, Jaime Lannister, he comes in and Daenerys, she just wants to get rid of him. She doesn't want him to fight, and everybody else stands up for him. And we really see this different side of him that is such a polar opposite from season 1, when he was this kind of, you know, I'm a Lannister and I'll do what I want.
I think Jaime and Brienne's relationship is like the most fascinating to me, because he has changed so much since he met her and went on their little journey together in like season 2.
Yeah.
And so he's become such a different person, and for her to stand up in front of everybody and say, I would fight for him, he's got honor, I'll defend him. That is a huge statement, and obviously everybody loves Brienne. Who's going to disagree with her on that?
And she's one of the most steadfast characters. I think maybe she's gained in confidence, but she's the one you'd be most like to describe as a true knight of any of the characters in the series. So to watch him sort of grow to the point where he wants to aspire to her level is really fascinating.
I also do think that she did step in part because she's in love with Jaime. Whether she realizes that's what that feeling is or not, like, she wholeheartedly loves this man, and she's not going to let something as minuscule as this, she's got to take the chance to at least try and save his life.
I think there's a mutual love. Whether or not it's a mutual attraction is a different thing, but I think they definitely love each other. It may not be romantic on both sides.
Yeah.
So at the very end of the episode, Jon tells Dany, and she doesn't seem happy.
We should clarify and note that her reaction was not what I expected. I don't know about you guys, but that was definitely not, like, the first instinct should be like, this whole relationship is all of a sudden incestuous, as opposed to, you're in the way of my throne. Like, that was her initial instinct, and it goes back to what you were saying about power and her relationship to power, which is through strength. So she's trying to bulldoze over, and that's her focus when it probably shouldn't be.
Well, and remember, she is a Targaryen, so they have a history of incestual relationships. So it's not as, you have to conceive that what is a huge deal for us is not as big a deal for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, she instantly went to, that's another blockade in my way.
Well, should be interesting. I cannot wait, and I know you guys can't wait either. So finally, the battle between the living and the dead, Sunday night, 9 o'clock. And we'll be talking about it, and hopefully we'll get that little augmented reality kill off who
People are
gets
going to start
killed.
dying, so we have to get those lists ready. It's coming.
I'll get working on it, and we will see you guys again next week to do more chatting about Game of Thrones.